What's up, everybody? I'm back with a new video on modal windows that you've probably seen on a ton of websites. I don't want to say too much. I'm not returning, from a long musical break or something like that, like Dr. Dre did. I still haven't listened to Compton, but whatever. Modal windows like these are what we're gonna be creating in this video, and I try to work out a way to deliver my content as quickly as I possibly can and in the most lucid manner. So I guess we'll jump straight into the code. Just one more demonstration. So if you've seen that and you're familiar with modal windows, they're good for login forms, login information, and anything you want to convey to your users that would enhance the aesthetic feel of your website. So I am going to, here is code to reference our CSS file already in popup.php, and here is, let me indent this just so you can see this a lot better. I'm using Sublime Text now. Let's indent these a bit. I'm still kind of new to the whole indenting thing, in Sublime, but it looks really catchy. I really like the way it handles code and highlights it. I still use Dreamweaver, but not as much as I did before. So yeah, I think you'll bear with me. So we've made a reference to our pop-up. Remember, you can still reference it with that, but I don't think you need it. I don't think you could. I don't think I'm gonna use that for this video. Sorry, you need it, but I don't think I'm gonna use that for this video. So I'm gonna get some styles. I'll be explaining them in a bit because this is creating a pop-up from pure CSS. Okay, great. Now I just wanna way too much inside, so I'm gonna pull this back. I think I'll indent this a bit. Take the body tag, to this point. Okay, bring the body over there, and then I set that div. Okay, so I'll indent that there. That's the modal window. And more text in the modal window, and then and then that is the end of the modal window. So I think our code looks pretty neat. So the text in the modal window reads, "Hello, and this is the modal window we have just created. I am excited for this modal window and the return of Bruno," which I am. So yes, that is the modal window. Now I will explain the CSS and how it works for this. So the body element that you will see is this body here, the blue body, and the reason as to why this text changes color on hover, which is hover with the cursor changing to a pointer, pretty much, is declared by this set of code. So the body still maintains the color white, which in this is white in RGBA. So I'm going to comment that just for people who aren't clear on this. Wait a second. Whoopsie, that's a bad place to comment. RGBA 255.255.255.1 is white. Okay, now RGBA is red, green, blue. So if you have 000, that's definitely black. If you have 255.00, that is red. If you have 0255.0, that is green, pure green, and then blue. So you can mix up different figures to see exactly what you get. I think it's a lot easier to play with than hex color, and also I think it is easier because you can set opacities, transparency with this, the last argument. okay, which is 1, anything from 0 pretty much to 1. Okay, so this is the modal window. It has a relative position, a gray background, left to 25%, display none. I will get to this because this right here is what makes everything work. This in conjunction with this href being set to hash makes all of this work together. I will be explaining that in a bit. So we set a cover, which is the dark background atop which this modal window sits. So yes, there's that, the cover, and we have the cancel, which is this element in the corner. And yes, now I am back to what I promised to explain, which is this. Basically what happens is we have targeted the modal window, and we have targeted the modal window and the cover. So the plus sign, pretty much like in C++, I'm just drawing this as an example, don't read too much into this. Pretty much in C++, where you have where you have 2 elements and you want to see out, I believe, and you have text in here like hello, and you want to append something to this, like a new line, something of the sort. Yes, use the plus. So the plus basically means, in this case in CSS, that we are on top of targeting the modal window. We want the cover to appear as well, as defined by these properties here, opacity and the display block, which sets everything to appear in line as goes. So this is pretty much where the magic happens, this set of code here. And when you move back to the HTML page, the actual HTML page, I really advise you, programmers out there, to separate your CSS from your HTML. I'll save that. Separate your CSS from your HTML. It's a pretty good practice. I'll probably be explaining this in a subsequent tutorial. But yes, please separate those files. And this is another tool. This is another useful line of code here. Though albeit markup, it's useful. So yes, you notice that when we close this, we're reverted back to this, but we can still see the page in its entirety. So yes, that is the modal window. It's great to be back, and I hope to deliver more tutorials. Thank you for watching.